Okay, our last Kagiha short story. And then we go back to our regularly scheduled programming and I assume see what our ending with Kagiha will be eventually. First, let's do this. What I'm afraid of. Okay. What do the butterflies eat? I never thought about that before. At some point, that thought crosses my mind. I wonder about both the white butterflies in our hideout and black butterflies that appear near the monsters. What do they eat to survive? Is it some kind of nectar? Or could it all be an illusion? I can't help but think that when I see them getting absorbed into my hairpin. As the monster falls, as always, it melts into a massive kaleidoscope of butterflies. They flutter around briefly before being sucked up into our accessories. And that's the end of our hunt. And there I go again.
Are you alright, Beniyuri?
Yeah, thank you. I'm starting to get used to the fatigue I feel after fighting. I try to catch my breath as my shoulders slowly move up and down. I'm terribly tired, but we won't be able to escape this world without hunting the monsters. This is why I have to work even harder. As I struggle to keep myself motivated, Kagiha steps in front of me, looking concerned.
You don't have to overdo it. Here, hang on to me.
But aren't you tired too?
I'm fine. Come on.
I'm moved by his kindness as he holds out his large hand.
There's still some time until night, so we can take it slow.
Okay. Thank you. Even the act of holding his hand out tells me how kind he is. I get the feeling he'd be kind to me no matter what I do. In fact, I start to worry that I might be misinterpreting his intent. You're always so kind.
Am I? It makes me happy to hear that from you.
It makes me sometimes say things like this without thinking. But you can be a little harsh on Manshiro. Why is that? When Manshiro wanted to join us, Kagiha was the one that was most staunchly opposed. When we're all together, I get the feeling that he avoids Manshiro too. I just don't know why.
That's not true. Perhaps it's just your imagination.
It's not my imagination. I'm pretty observant when it comes to these things. Girl, look at you doubling down. Proud of you.
What are your grounds for that assumption, then?
Grounds? I'm asking because I don't know why. Manshiro might be quiet, but he's a good person.
You say that, but...
His face is getting cloudy, but I want him to understand Manshiro better. He's always so lonely. He worries when people get hurt. He's just not good at expressing his emotions, but I'm positive he wants to get along with us all.
You sound like you know him well.
I can just tell. Kagiha, if you talked with him more, you'd understand too.
Let me ask you instead. Why do you trust him so much? That's what I find hardest to understand.
Because... I can tell he doesn't lie.
Do you think that sounds convincing to me?
I don't. I can't explain it well. I just want the two of them to be a little closer. I feel suffocated. I want to cry. I can't help but feel totally powerless. I thought Kagiha would understand. My heart starts to burn with sadness and I turn my face away from him. I look outside the manor, but I can see nothing but a clouded sky through the window. We're in a small world with a limited number of friends. Being unable to understand one another hurts me. I'm the one who can't get my message across to him. It's not right of me to blame him for it. Even though I admonish myself, my sadness doesn't go away. I clench my right fist and I hear the sound of clothing rustling.
Beniyuri.
Aw. This is a very sad picture. Am I pinned, though? I'm a little bit pinned. Oh, he's crying. Ah, dang it. He's staunchly opposed to Monshiro because Monshiro knows he's lying to us. I realize that Kagiha is now standing right behind me. He places his hand on the window and towers over me.
No. I don't want to hurt you.
I'm speechless. The whispers coming from behind me are filled with sorrow. I was the one at fault just now.
No, you weren't.
I can't see his face in the clouded glass of the window, but I can feel the heart-wrenching emotion in his voice.
It's my fault. I know.
That's not what I was trying to say.
I know that! I just...
He sounds so sad, but I don't know what else to say. Our hearts are looking in completely different directions. That's why we can't understand each other. I don't even know why he's in such pain. What am I supposed to do about this? I want to understand. I want you to understand. That's all I want. If there's something in your heart, something that makes you hurt this badly. I look at his flexed arm, struggling to wring out what words I can. I'll always be here to listen. I want you to tell me. Anything at all. Maybe then I'll know the answer. As we talk, I can feel his body heat on my back. He seems to think long and hard about what I said, and after a short pause, he finally replies. Such sad, painful words.
I'm sorry. I'm afraid that you'll hate me.
Silence overcomes us. He's so close to me, but I still don't understand. We can't get any closer. It makes me feel even more impatient. It claws at my heart. So close. And yet, I feel so lonely. Before long, we make our way back to the hideout in total silence. Though we're acting normally, I still can't bring myself to speak to him. In the end, we solve nothing. That night, I have a dream. A kaleidoscope of butterflies quickly sip on nectar. The sight is beautiful, but frightening. I find it beautiful, and yet I'm afraid of it. I want to know why, but I'm afraid of the reason. I don't know why I feel that way. I'm afraid of that, too. Those beautiful butterflies that should have felt so familiar. Oof. Wow, that was a heavy one. I think that's possibly the heaviest of the short stories that we've seen. Alright, well, with that, I guess we're going into chapter 5. Just trying to see, should I start just from chapter 5? Yeah. Definitely gotta start from chapter 5. Then we're gonna lose our boy, and then we're gonna come back to him in 7. Okay. Let's go. Back into the main story. All along, I had thought they were strangers, but in reality, they were my childhood friends. I was completely taken by surprise. Now that some of my memory has returned, I find myself wondering how I could have forgotten them in the first place. Naturally, we've all become even closer than before, and our friendships with one another grow ever deeper. Conversely, Monshiro remains the only one with no connection to any of the rest of us. He refuses to leave his room. Is he going to visit Yamato? I occasionally get the feeling that he's been going outside on his own. Days pass, but I can never quite catch him in the act. And then before I know it, I realize that I haven't seen him for days. I'm worried about him, and I'm worried about Yamato being all alone in the greenhouse. But without Monshiro around, I can't get there on my own. I can't stop thinking about the two of them.
Wow, this is amazing! You've made so much progress with the kaleidoscope. It's nearly complete.
For the first time in a while, Usagi has come to the hideout. She shouted with joy when she saw the kaleidoscope. What? Really? It's almost done?
Yes, I believe there should only be 1 or 2 shards left. You should be receiving word from the master soon.
I can't believe we've already come this far.
I can definitely see it, though. The way it shines is far more vivid than it was at first. It's almost there.
Yeah! We're so close to going back to the real world. I'll be able to see Dad and Haruka again. My heart leaps with joy and I rub my hands together. My blood is really pumping and I just can't calm down. My one wish will soon be granted. Huh? Everyone else is smiling with delight, but I look over and spot Karasuba sitting on the sofa alone. Karasuba, what's wrong? Huh? The kaleidoscope is almost finished. Did you hear Usagi? Yeah. I was listening. What? He seems really out of it. Something's wrong. Did he catch a cold? I walk over to him and bend down to look at his face. Some of the light returns to his eyes and he stares right back at me. You keep looking at me like that and I just might have to kiss you. What? Aw, you wound me. You didn't have to jump back like that. My glass heart is shattered. Sorry. When he pressed his lips toward me, I jumped back in surprise. Karasuba sulks dramatically, but continues speaking. No apologies necessary. How about a kiss instead? We could go even further if you... No, we can't. Come on, I was worried about you. Stop messing around. Haha. That's too bad. I should have pretended to be sadder. I might have gotten more out of you. Anyways, heave-ho. Huh? Where are you going? Just a quick trip to calm my jitters. Kidding. I'm heading back to my room. I'm getting sleepy. Oh, alright. Feel free to join me anytime, Benny. Nighty-night. His final joke echoes behind him as he climbs up the stairs. There's something heavy about his movements, as though he's feeling burdened by something. What happened to Karasuba? That wasn't just me, was it? He didn't look like he was doing so well.
He might just be tired. He's always like that.
Do you think so?
I'm sure he'll be alright after a bit of rest. Let's leave him be.
Okay. If you say so. Yes, who is it? The next morning, I hear a frantic knock on my door as I'm changing my bedsheets.
It's Kagiha. Do you have a moment?
A strange feeling in my chest, I go to open the door. Kagiha is standing there, a serious look on his face. I instantly realize something bad must have happened. What's wrong? Why are you making that face?
Benny Yuri, do you know where Karasuba is?
What? He isn't in here. I just woke up.
I see.
He falls silent. His usual gentle smile is gone, and its absence makes me all the more worried. So, what happened to him? He's not in his room?
No, he wasn't. Nor in the living room, nor the kitchen. I checked the empty rooms as well, but I couldn't find him anywhere. It seems as though he's gone off elsewhere in the manor.
But why? He's never disappeared like this before.
What if the same thing that happened to Yamato happened to him?
Unease roils in my heart. I feel like there's some misfortune about to befall us. Without knowing the cause of it, though, worries churn and grow inside my head. We've got to find him! Hikage! I heard Karasuba disappeared!
Yeah. I checked everywhere in the hideout that he might have been, but no trace of him.
Not at all? Then he must have...
Right. If we can't find him here, he's most likely gone outside. But... where could he be? I turn towards the entrance. He must have opened that door to go outside.
Images of what happened to Yamato flashed through my mind. When he disappeared, we found him right behind the door. He looked terrifying, as though shadows were gathering on him. Could it be happening to Karasuba too?
Not in front of the hideout either.
We look around after opening the door separating the hideout from the manor. No one is there. Equal parts relieved and disappointed, I let a sigh escape. Not in his room. Not outside for some air, either. That means... he must be somewhere far away?
It's the most likely explanation.
Come to think of it, he was acting a little weird earlier. We can't just leave him. We've got to go out and find him.
I agree. But where? And how? The manor is massive. There's no way we could check everywhere, so we'll have to split up.
Karasuba! If you can hear me, say something! I call out to him as I dash through the manor. The situation being as dire as it is, each of us has gone off separately to find him. This is the first time I've been out in the manor alone since I met Monshiro. I'm worried, but I'm even more afraid of what could be happening to Karasuba. What if we don't find him? Horrible images float through my mind, but I try to shake it off. Now's not the time to be getting distracted with negativity. I've got to hope for the best and keep moving forward. Okay, so we're gonna run around looking for Karasuba, find him eventually with Hikage. So I think I'm gonna go to the flowchart and we'll just kind of progress this to the showdown in part 3 of chapter 5. There we go. Karasuba walks slightly ahead of us as we return to the hideout. He wobbles a little with each step, his shoulders swaying from side to side. I'm getting more worried just looking at him. He seems pretty aware of what's going on. He reminds me of a wounded animal. Something about him seems to be pushing us away. Is he really all right? He won't talk to us. I wonder what really happened.
I'm sure he has his reasons. Just leave him be for now.
Are you sure that's a good idea?
First and foremost, we need to get back to the hideout so we can get him treated. It's best not to get in his way until then.
Okay. With that, Hikage convinces me not to say anything else to Karasuba for the time being. Step by step, Karasuba makes his way through the halls as we look on. Oh boy. It's happening again. Wherever we go, the scenery is always the same. The pillars, with their detailed ornamentation. The view from the windows shrouded in a curtain of dense fog. Wool carpeting on the floors, winding on endlessly through the halls, making it hard to gauge the passage of time. When I first got here, I relied on sight alone to guide me, which made it easy to get lost. Now, though, I use the entrance hall as a starting point and track the corners I turn, allowing me to better navigate the myriad hallways of the manor. Maybe Karasuba's the same way. Despite his uncertain steps, we're slowly but surely making our way back to the hideout. Just as we're about to arrive, I hear voices nearby.
None. But... if... it will.
Those voices. The commotion seems to be coming from the direction we're headed. Before long, we discover the source. Huh? Is that... Monshiro? For a moment, I can't figure out what's happening. A single glimmering point of light, coming from the barrel of a gun. Why is Monshiro pointing a gun at Kagiha? What the heck is going on? So many questions without answers.
Monshiro! You!
Ah! The shouting drags me back to my senses. No, stop!
Beniyuri?
I rush over to stand in front of Kagiha, and I can sense everyone in the room flinching at once. What's going on, Monshiro? Why is this happening?
You'll be hurt. Stand back.
No, I won't. Please, tell me why you're doing this. My lips quiver. My voice cracks. I can't believe the sight unfolding before me.
Because Natsuki's a monster now.
Huh?
Because he looks like a monster now.
Did he say Natsuki just now?
Because he's bad. Because he's very bad.
His barely comprehensible excuses remind me of a child arguing with a parent. I can't understand what he's saying, and my voice starts to grow harsher. You're the bad one, Monshiro! You shouldn't be pointing your gun at an ally! What happened? Explain it to me, please!
Beniuri.
Monshiro doesn't lower his weapon. A bead of sweat drips down my forehead. I don't dare move. It's as though a single breath might lead to something irreversible. And then suddenly, behind me, someone laughs. A cold laugh, one totally at odds with the unfolding drama. I turn to see Karasuba clutching his gun. Bad, huh? You might as well be talking about everyone here. I guess I'm the worst of all, though. I tried to change. But I'm still here, still the same as ever. Karasuba points his gun at Monshiro. Karasuba, what are you doing? Stop! My voice is drowned out by the sound of a single shot, fired without a moment's hesitation. Monshiro! My eyes dart over to him, but he's still standing and holding his gun. Wait, what did he shoot at? He didn't hit Monshiro? At that moment, I hear a loud crack, and Monshiro's fox mask splits open from end to end. What? The broken pieces clatter to the floor. After all this time, we can see his true face. What the... He looks just like Hikage? What's going on here? Knew it. You're Kazuya.
Karasuba.
Trying to hide his face with his hands, Monshiro looks over at Karasuba. Monshiro is Kazuya? But then, who is Hikage? Hikage, you're the imposter! Yep, he's the imposter. He turns his gun from Monshiro and levels it at Hikage. Hikage, silently watching until now, looks on with a cold stare. I don't understand. What is he talking about, Hikage? An imposter? Aren't you Kazuya? Kagiha! Did you know something about this? Why? Why did you all keep this from me? Did you all know? Was I the only one who didn't? How could you be so cruel? I'm shouting at the top of my lungs. I try to catch my breath as thoughts rush through my head. His thin, perfect lips curl into a perfect bow shape. What? His transformation is so good. He bellows with roaring and salting laughter. At that same time, a powerful gust blows from deep within the manor. Black butterflies appear out of thin air and surround Hikage in a bizarre, otherworldly display.
Hikage, what?
He holds up his hand to deflect the wind. I take 2 or 3 steps back and stare at the man with the cold smile on his face. Who could he be? Nobody I know could have such a heartless laugh.
Your mewling cries so amuse me, I simply couldn't help but laugh. Betrayed by your friends, your trust shattered, your soul losing its way. How sweet that sound is. We're cruel, you say. Now I wonder which of us truly lives up to that word.
Hikage, what are you saying? As I struggle to make sense of things, he turns to Karasuba.
And what a surprise from you, Karasuba. Whatever happened to all of your cowardice?
Oh, it's still there. But I know how to keep it bottled up now. I'm not gonna let things continue like this. I'll never forgive myself for how weak I was.
How irritating. I think it's time for you to die.
Hikage holds his hand out, gun materializing in his grasp. He points it at Karasuba, and then, without hesitation, he fires.
Ah!
Gotcha! Aren't you surprised? I could have shattered your entire shoulder, so naturally you would be.
You!
Let's not forget, though, you're the one who pointed your gun at me first. You've no right to complain. I must admit, though, that terrified expression suits you much better. How I'd love to hand you a mirror.
Charming as ever, aren't you?
Just above Karasuba's right shoulder, a butterfly, shot only moments ago, is drawn into Hikage's accessory. My favorite picture.
Ah, how utterly beautiful. The taste of despair.
Everything about him, from his voice to his face, is Hikage. But even so, I know for certain he's different. The strange air about him makes my hair stand on end. My mind refuses to accept it. It completely refuses to accept the man standing before me.
That reminds me. None of you know what these really are, do you?
Our accessories?
They absorb the negative life force and souls that make up the black butterflies, acting as a protective charm for their owner. And mine has absorbed the despair of all those who have been entrapped in this manner. Just look at how dark its color is. Is it not beautiful?
How could you know that, Hikage? I already know the answer, but I still need to ask.
You can't tell? Or are you just plain dumb? The answer should be obvious. I am the master of this manor.
The world crumbles to pieces beneath my feet. Somehow I'm able to keep myself on my feet. You're the master? I thought you were Kazuya.
Manshiro is Kazuya.
But if he's Kazuya, why did he point his gun at Kagiha, Natsu?
Because...
I don't understand what's going on. This Hikage isn't the Hikage I know? I look at him, searching for an answer. He starts moving towards me, his eyes glittering, a threatening smile on his lips.
I am me, the human you call Hikage.
And I can become you as well. You, with all your weakness, all your cowardice. You what? That's not all.
I can become that cunning little coward over there, too.
Oh, and him as well. Tiny but strong. And let's not forget this one. This world can make anything you think manifest. I can take the shape of whatever I so choose.
Again and again he changes his shape, making me realize everything I believed in up until now has been a lie. Then... you've been pretending to be one of us since the very beginning.
That's correct.
But you got hurt trying to protect me, didn't you? You comforted me when I needed it. You always worried about me. Was it all a lie?
Ah, what a lovely face. Twisted into despair, knowing that everything you believed in amounts to nothing. It's too good. This was so worth the long wait.
His words. They're tinged with joy and pleasure. Utterly ruthless.
You're a damn pervert.
All of it was a lie. It was only ever for the kaleidoscope. How could you trick us just for that? What the heck is wrong with you, Hikage? Why? Answer me! Hikage's face contorts into annoyance.
Would you please shut your mouth, Beniyuri?
What? He points his gun directly at my heart.
Hikage! All right. I promise I wouldn't harm you. Well, whatever. I don't care so long as I get the last shard. And on that note...
Huh?
Goodbye, Beniyuri.
The muzzle flashes. Instinctively, I squeeze my eyes shut, waiting for what comes next. He shot me! At least that's what I think for a moment. What? A few moments pass, but the pain doesn't come. I open my eyes a little. My blurred vision slowly comes into focus. In that instant, everyone is frozen in place, facing towards me. All except for one. Kagiha? Kagiha!
Ugh.
Having thrown himself in front of me, Kagiha tumbles to the floor, a groan of agony burbling up from his throat. No! Kagiha, why?
Beniyuri, are you all right?
Yes, I'm fine. Forget me. You're... Ew. I run over to take him into my arms, but as I do, blood spurts from his side.
What's this? Are you going to die? How unfortunate. You had such promise.
Stay away from him!
You pretend to care for your friends, but let us not forget that he's hurt because of you. To protect you. To aid you. Since the very beginning, this pitiful man... Stop! Don't say it! Don't! Please, don't tell her!
What? Tell me what? What did he do to protect me? Why are you all looking at me like that? Why aren't you saying anything? Speak to me!
It's because...
I'm sorry, Beniyuri.
I don't get it! I don't get it at all! The vivid sight of seeping blood is the only thing keeping me tethered to reality. The only thing stopping me from running away from it all.
What a bother. Would you just die already?
Terrifying. Oh! Hikage points the muzzle of the gun at me once again. An instant later...
Keep your damn hands off her, you bastard! Oh!
Yamato tears into Hikage with his razor-sharp claws.
Yamato! You?
Hikage jumps away and presses his hand to the fresh wound. Blood trickles through his fingers, crimson droplets splashing to the floor.
So it was you all along, huh? Master of the house. What you gonna do now, asshole? Gonna fight and bleed all over the place?
Hikage grabs Kagiha away from me and points his gun at the back of his head, taking steps backwards.
Stay where you are. If any of you so much as move a muscle, I'll put an end to him right here.
Kagiha is barely conscious. He clutches at his side as Hikage drags him away. Wait! Where are you taking him? Please stop! Don't hurt him!
Beniyuri, stop!
But...
Listen to him. Don't move.
No! Kagiha! A hand on my shoulders holds me in place as I watch the two of them disappear into the darkness. All I can do is grit my teeth in frustration.